Shepnaz Podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz Podcast. I'm Joe, and I'm your host today. And today I have with me Jacob Bush, who is our head of schools here at Shepherd Christian Schools. And we've got an interesting opportunity to talk about today. So welcome in, Jacob.
Hey,
how's it going?
Thanks for having me. Wonderful. It's good to be back. We're like, 2 months in now?
Yeah. So. Well, I couldn't talk to you for a couple months because you just needed to get things. Yeah. So this is a good sign that you actually have 20 minutes maybe
they let me out
to have a conversation with somebody else outside of the school.
Yeah.
So that must mean, things are clicking now.
Yeah, we've gotten into our school routine. This is very nice. So, good to be back with you, but good to have we had a wonderful start to the school year. Everybody showed up. So I was really excited about that. We have a great staff, and it's been a joy to get to know them. And the same with our students and families. I've got to meet a lot of parents over these first couple months, whether it's in the pickup line or at events, just engaging them as they're coming in and out. It's been wonderful. So.
Well, speaking of pickup line, so
oh boy, that was not on the list. To talk
I might
about
as
today.
Well just go right there. So I think things are getting worked out. I know that those first couple days, it was a challenge. But in all fairness to you, that wasn't just because you were the new guy. It's that we increased the school by at least a third of the size.
Yeah, we did
over the summer. So for those that haven't been paying attention, we just did a school expansion, added 8 classrooms. That's a big chunk. And along with that came all the students that filled that. And along with that came all the parent vehicles that are picking up and dropping off their kids. I can remember one of the first couple days, and I just pulled into the parking lot at the wrong time. And I was like, it was 4 lanes wide, and it looked like the slowest NASCAR wide turn I'd ever seen. But
you're right.
But the nice thing was you had staff running up and down, talk to them. It also reminded me of maybe a Chick-fil-A drive-through. It did look a little bit like that.
I just didn't have any money on me. That was the only difference.
But we've been working through all those growing pains, and we thank the parents for being patient as we're figuring out the best way to do all those things. And I'm sure as we keep going, things will get even better. So
absolutely. And I'm grateful for patient parents as well. That was a really challenging first 2 days. And I remember parents going by and saying, is it going to be like this all the time? And I said, I sure hope not. When you first said it, I thought about a bee sting, because that's what it felt like. It was like you get this sharp pain right at the start, and then it goes away. But yeah, you remember it. And I think I'm going to remember that. Those were memorable first 2 days at Shepherd. So I'm glad you brought that up today, Joe.
I just thought I'd give you the chance to relive it. But you can look back now and say, look how far we've come. We can actually get kids out of here now. Yeah. So now we're actually able to kind of look forward to kind of planning some things. And, one of the things that we've talked about is kind of interesting ways or kind of out of the box ways that we can help the finances of the school and not be additional burden on people. So that's kind of the topic for today, not the parking lot. And we're talking about SGOs. What are those?
Yeah. So SGOs are scholarship granting organizations, and several exist in Ohio, but they're mainly directed at private schooling, which often comes with tuition-based operations, just like Shepherd. So every family pays tuition, whether that's supplemented through a scholarship or not, and that those scholarship dollars come from either the state allotted portion from Ed Choice or John Peterson scholarships. The other portion has to be funded privately, and that's what SGOs do for us. Is there's often a gap between what the state scholarships and what actual tuition is. And that gap needs to be covered. Excuse me. And lots of our families need assistance with that gap, even the fees that come along with that. And SGOs can provide dollars to help cover those tuition costs and cover the fees to operate the school. So this is a really great spot for Ohioans in general, Ohio taxpayers, to direct their tax dollars to something that they care about and are passionate about. Fortunately, in Ohio, they've decided that private schooling is a priority. And so if you want to be directing your dollars to that effort in not just in our church, our community, or our school community, but statewide, anybody in Ohio can give towards that effort and direct their money to the school of their choosing. And so the scholarship granting organization then facilitates giving those dollars out to the schools. This is a fairly new program in Ohio. We've only had it for about 2 years, so it's not well known. It's also not utilized to its full capacity. So the beautiful thing is the state came to us and said, hey, you're going to pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
And taxes are a pretty sure thing. But now the state is saying, hey, we'll let you tell us where your tax dollars go. And so it's by providing this tax dollar benefit through the SGO, it's a credit on your taxes. It then gets directed towards a school. And we want everybody to give their dollars to Shepherd.
Sure, of course.
But this is a statewide effort, and it's going to benefit Christian schools in particular, but also other private schools all throughout Ohio to allow people to direct those tax dollars to the school of their choice.
Well, and kind of the mechanics of how this works is really amazing. In fact, it seems like it is so much too good to be true.
A little bit.
That a lot of people are very skeptical of it. It's like, really? Is that really how it works? Well, so I'm going to kind of try to walk this through, and then you correct me along the way if I'm wrong. But let's say, first of all, the first requirement would be that I'm paying Ohio income tax.
Yep.
And so let's say that I get a W-2. Now, I might get a printed one, or you might have an employer that makes it available, online. If I looked at my W-2 for this pay period, I should be able to see a total of how much I've paid in Ohio income tax for the year. And the reason we wanted to have this conversation now is that as we are approaching the end of the calendar year, people will start making their plans on how they're going to do their taxes and all that kind of thing. And we wanted you guys to have time to research this for yourselves and kind of look into it and decide if this is something you would be willing to take the time to do. It does take a little bit of time to do this, but it's not going to cost you anything in the long run. So let's say that I look at my W-2 and I see that in 2025, I've paid $1,000 in Ohio income tax. Mm-hmm. And then I can go to this website that we'll refer to, and I can donate up to a certain amount. What's the total amount?
So it's $750 per individual taxpayer.
So let's say, and if I'm filing jointly, that will bump that up for
double.
me.
Yep.
But let's say if I was just filing by myself, and if I had already paid $1,000 into Ohio income tax, then I can write a check for $750 or make that payment for $750 to this SGO. And then what will happen when I file my taxes is on my Ohio tax return, it'll ask me if I've donated towards an SGO, and I can say yes. And I can say I've donated $750, which was the individual limit. And they'll say, oh, okay, well, you've already paid $1,000 into income tax. So we're going to give you that $750 back as a credit, dollar for dollar, on your Ohio income tax. And one of the reasons this is really different is that it's not just you get a portion, like a charitable contribution. This is actually saying, okay, well, you get full credit for all the money that you paid towards this SGO, and we take it off of your tax bill for Ohio. So is that how this is going to work?
Joe, you did that so well. I have nothing to say.
All right, let me hit the music.
No, you were spot on. And I think it's beautiful that God has given us this opportunity to say that the state is going to support this effort. God is the owner of all things, right? He owns all of the cattle on the 1,000 hills, right? And we have to recognize that. And he's given us a unique opportunity to say, hey, the state has made this provision for you. I'm providing an avenue for you to have access to the resources that are already mine anyway. And so utilizing this avenue gives us that benefit. It doesn't mean we're not giving zero.
Right.
It takes God moving your heart and God saying, hey, I want you to be a part of this effort at Shepherd or whatever Christian school is laid on your heart or private school. He has to move your heart to do that. And the investment is real, that you're benefiting the kingdom with that gift. We're helping students get access here, through those payments, tuition payments. We're benefiting our teachers and our staff and being able to raise their salaries and make them or train them in a much more effective manner so that they can do better at their jobs in the classrooms. This is incredibly impactful. So I don't have to speak about the mechanics. You got it.
All right.
But I do care about the impact that everybody making this gift is going to have an incredible impact on our school finances. And I can do anything better if I have a few more dollars to put towards it. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity and raising awareness of this effort and being able to challenge people to take this step. One of the things that we just found out 2 days ago is that we can give these gifts over a period of time rather than waiting to give it all in one lump sum, which might be challenging for some families. You can decide to give over, say, once every month or once every 2 weeks as you get resources in your life, and then you can give those resources. Now, we don't see the benefit of that until the end of the tax year, but that's less of a burden on families. They can still participate, even if it's a little less each month, and still meet that threshold after giving over time, rather than one big lump sum. And the state's being very generous with us. Ohio is at the top of the list for supporting private Christian education, and we need to be grateful for that. And now we need to use it.
And now, obviously, I'm not a tax preparer. I'm not an accountant, and neither are you.
You look like one. Is that a good thing? Or a bad thing?
Yeah, I came dressed that way, trying to act the part. But no, I'm not. And so we would encourage you guys, to do your own research on this. But let's say they hear this and they're like, "That sounds great. I'm ready to do it." So what are the next steps for them?
Well, we have in-house expert Mike Fluhart.
There you go.
An email or a call to Mike. He is well-versed in this program over the last 2 years, but he's also serving as our development director. And this is an area that falls in his purview. So he would love to have a conversation with you about that, just to go over the mechanics of it. Or if you need a deeper dive, he knows right where to point you. We have information on our webpage that'll do that as well under our Donate SGO portion at shepherdchristian.org. So there's a spot out there that you can go look and see. But we love the in-person conversation because we want to hear about what opportunities do you want to give to. And we have lots of those here at the school. So, when we want to engage people on this. We don't want to just say, hey, here's where you can go give and then have them give. We want the relational part of it because this is an opportunity to cultivate a love for the Christian school effort, and not just with people in the church, but our families here at Shepherd who may not be at Shepherd Naz, but they're attending the school, this is an opportunity for them to get linked in as well. But the giving process is just like buying anything off of Amazon. So you go in, you say how much you want to give, you choose your school. Now this all happens on the Ohio Christian Education Network. OCEN is the SGO that we utilize here at Shepherd. There are many SGOs in Ohio, but that's the one Shepherd has chosen to utilize. But on their webpage, you tell them, here's how much I want to give. Here's the school I wanted to give it to. And so as part of OCEN, Shepherd will be on there. And then your gift goes directly to that SGO effort. And the school then engages a process where we grant those scholarships to families in need. The families have a way to apply for those scholarships. And then there's a portion of those scholarships or a portion of those dollars that also come to the school as a grant and just go to support the school in general. So every dollar is going to help with that. And I think that's a wonderful benefit too. OCEN is a great Christian organization and good partner to make all of this happen for us. So
now I would say, as I'm sitting here and I'm kind of, the wheels are turning, I think that even our parents at Shepherd Christian could utilize this process to help themselves. Because if they were to give money throughout the year to this SGO, then they would be able to see that money go to Shepherd Christian, which would make that money available if they are, in fact, in need of assistance. And it won't be, when they get reimbursed with their tax credit, it wouldn't be any additional money out of pocket.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. And that's a beautiful way to describe it, that we're going to pay someone. We might as well pay ourselves.
Right.
And thank you, Ohio legislature, for doing that for us. And I can't explain it any more simply than that if you don't invest, you're losing that opportunity and potentially paying double what you actually had to pay. So, and I'll be careful a little bit with the semantics. People can give and may not have a need, but everybody that gives gets a benefit, and that's from the blessing of the Lord and being generous. So those that come back and apply for those dollars certainly could be families that gave. That's not...
it's actually going into your account.
It's not going into your account. It's going into a general school account that can then be utilized to grant scholarships. And families that give very likely are families who receive as well. So I would highly encourage that. My family's going to do it.
Yep.
I'm committing right now to all my Shepherd folks. My family, my wife and I are doing that because we need that support too. But we want to see that be cast to as many students as possible. And I suspect we'll have new families next year that are going to be in need, and we don't even know what that need is yet. So people giving now is going to benefit people we don't even know who are going to be impacted by Shepherd at this point.
Amen. Well, I think it's a great opportunity. And what we'll do is in the comments today, we're going to put a whole bunch of links.
Yeah.
And then if that's just too much for you, you can always remember to email podcast@shepnaz.org and we'll get you plugged in with the right people. I know we could get you set up with a personal interview with the Mike Fluhart to talk about how you can give and ways you can give. And I'm sure we could even get an autograph from Jacob if that'll tip it for you. You can also go to shepnaz.org to see everything that's going on with the church. For Jacob, I'm Joe. Have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.